what a week it's been. I have not accomplished a blessed thing all week, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But let's see who's here first. Got Bill Saflarski, Robert Daigle. Robert and Kevin are the only reason I got anything done so far this week. But I'm thankful for them, that's for sure. BZ Firewood and Rust. Frontier Firewood. Mike Lake Ontario Firewood. Got Jim Iffy Kid. Jacqueline Dowers here. Josh and Janice Leach are here. Dick from Old Guy Firewood. How you doing, Dick? Good to see you. Dennis Rexford. Connor McCrae from across the pond. Everybody's piling in. Like I said, this week has been a week. I got back from Virginia to home inspection and home selling issues and things. We had to put a riser on the septic tank. Got the riser put in, but before we got the riser in, it rained. And when I say it rained very good. So all of the dirt is jello. I tried to fill it back in. There's no way I'm getting a patio put back in, so I have a muddy, nasty mess in the backyard. But we do have a riser on the septic tank, so that's one good thing so far. I got some more people showing up here. We got Dan's House Smoking Outdoors, Lonnie Jones, Speedy's here, Weekend Warrior, how you doing? Scott and Ann, Wise Choice Firewood, and there's Mr. Craig from Craig's Cord to Coles. There's Kevin Violet. Britt, Foothills Firewood, how you doing? Dr. Wood is in the house. I learned about red oak and white oak from Britt this week. I learned something from Britt every time, and I've been playing with firewood for a long time. Boots in the Grass has got the girls with him, and Brooke is wiggling a front tooth trying to get it out. Maybe the tooth fairy will bring her a new chainsaw. So we got back from Virginia, delivered a load of restaurant wood from Robert's place. I got the restaurant taken care of. And that's the only firewood I've done this week. We have run with this house sale and with things that needed to be done with this, and I have more tomorrow. I thought today I had an inspection, and I woke up today to a house full of black smoke, and that smoke was from a malfunctioning furnace that had just been serviced. Called the furnace repairman. He came back out. He could not get it quite figured out, so I figured it out. Getting too much draft out of the chimney with the wind that we had and the breeze that was going. It was too much draft. It was pulling the flame off of the fuel and causing smoking and panting. Once we reduced the draft, it was better. Got all that situated, got ready for the home inspection, only to find out that the home inspection is actually tomorrow. So it's just been a cluster of a day. But I got a really cool text message this morning. I had somebody text me and say, "Good morning, handsome. Check for UPS today." That person was Derek from Derek's Stuff, and he sent us a little 4910 that sounds pretty spicy. So we got a bar and chain all ready for that. I got a new chain for the 562 XPG, and I've got the 462 all sharpened up. So tomorrow, while we're waiting for all the other inspections and things like that have to happen, we're gonna go ahead and run some saws. I've got probably a cord or so of wood here at the house that we've got to buck up, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Kevin, I don't know about firewood in the morning yet because the home inspection that I thought was today is tomorrow. So when you get done and you're situated, give me a call and we will figure out what it's going to be, and we'll go from there. Haha, Josh and Janice, you would be surprised. So I have paid for septic and water inspections. Those are the two big ones, and I hope that those are good with everybody because they're not doing their own. I've already written it into the clause and contract. I don't know what they're expecting to get from the home inspection. And then they have to have an appraisal because this is an FHA loan, so the appraiser has to come in, appraise the house. So we got to meet with them, get all that done. It's just it's a chore, a very big chore. So we'll see what we got to do. Brianna Gorman, good to see you. Northwest PA Firewood. How's it going? But we did break some milestones, so I've been doing really well with my reels and whatnot on Facebook and keeping them posted as need be. We hit 9,000 followers on Facebook and 7.1 million views in 90 days, 1.1 million views in the last 7 days. So Facebook is starting to heat up for us, and that's working pretty good. It's consistency, 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 consistency. If I can ever get the house sold and get all of this stuff off of my plate, I will push all those same reels to YouTube and to TikTok, and we'll still do our long form videos. I've been editing a long form video off and on for the better part of today, and still don't have it finished for YouTube yet, but we're working on that as well. So it's it's been a chore and a ride too. And any of you that do social media stuff yourself, you already know what a chore and a ride this can be. It's a lot more work than people realize, that's for sure. Yet Weekend Warrior says FHA can be a pain. Yes, they can. I'm finding that out firsthand. Sweet tea for the win. So I'm stressed. I feel like I've got nothing done. I've got orders piling up. I've got a broken conveyor that needs to be fixed still. And I can't really get to the wood yard because I've got to be here for everything that's going on. So it's it's getting to be a thing. John Salmonson, how you doing, buddy? Tom from Tom's Firewood, how's it going? And there's Tim and Sarah and the gang. Robert Cox is here. Hey, they're all piling in now. Yeah, Brandon Hode does sound familiar. Either rain or snow, the firewood must go. I don't know how I'm going to fit it in this week. My wife is headed to Boston for some training for work for Saturday and Sunday, and Richard has hockey in Aroostook County, which is a couple hours north of here, on Saturday and Sunday. So won't be doing much for firewood Saturday or Sunday, that's for sure. All our snow is pretty well gone here, Mike, except for the real shady areas. Still has a little bit of snow, but it's going to get cold up here. We're going to get cold, cold, cold. Bill, we lost another belt. So we have a series of 4 drive belts that run pulleys. And Gramp has already investigated and has put his 2 cents worth in. And I think he might be up to something, if it's not done already. I haven't been over to look because I haven't had time. But we'll see what's going on. Speedy, the new conveyor, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I've not received much of an update on that, but I have some other things coming that will help eliminate all of those issues pretty quick. So I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I'm not done yet. It is, Ken, but unfortunately for this week, we're both right at the limit. My wife has a very large open house event going on, plus training, and the oldest boy has work, so he has to get shuffled back and forth to work, and the youngest has hockey this weekend, so we are stretched to the limits and pretty thin right now, but we'll get through it. This too shall pass, and it'll be fun, but it's definitely not been a fun week so far. I don't like not getting a whole lot done. I feel like I'm wasting my time and not accomplishing a whole lot. So I try really hard to do something. And I have not been able to get much of anything done this week. So that's been a little hard. But Dave and James Munster, he follows along with the YouTube channel every once in a while. They came and helped me with the septic. I was very thankful for that. I've got some good friends and stuff, so it's really nice to have that happen. But when the money's going out and nothing's coming in, it gets a little cranky on my end. I don't like that. Oh, don't worry, Sherry. I'll hang in there. I'm tough, but I'm just showing you guys that I'm no different than anybody else. I have my good days and my bad days. This is turning into a bad week, but we'll have a good week another time to make up for it, so we'll be okay. And Mike says it's raining like a cow peeing on a flat rock in New York. Well, there you go. So I did a post and I asked who liked Steel, Husqvarna, or Echo better. And then I did a post on Facebook saying that I had a reason for doing that. My reason for doing that, we're going to show in a series of shorts and long form videos both, where I'm going to take saws of each CC range from each manufacturer, and we are going to run them side by side and see if there's a big enough difference to make up A, either the cost, or B, the performance of each saw. I'm not sure how quick those will roll out, but that's where my little which one's better came from. I had always had a blurred opinion of which saw was better and which manufacturer was better. We had never had Steel in the yard. Gramp didn't like Steel. I like Steel. That 462 has become one of my favorite saws so far. So it's interesting to see just how quickly our opinions can change when we find something that's worthwhile if we're looking and able to have an open mind. Mitchell, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. Ooh, Ted got a deer. All right. How big was the deer? Ken, it's a lot more money than the 620, but it's a lot more saw than the 620. It's it's a rocket for a stock saw. It's a rocket, but it's pretty cool. So I don't so much care about dealer support so long as it's an old school saw that I can actually work on myself. If it's an electronic or a fuel injected saw, no, dealer support's going to have to be something special. But one of the things that we're going to do is we are going to start rotating our saws out more often. So we're only going to run them a couple of years. Then we'll try to set them out and put new saws in place so that hopefully we can get all of that stuff taken care of and sorted out. So it's just better business sense. We'll have favorite saws, or I may take some of the saws that we really like when we rotate them out, and I may deck import them, make play saws out of them or something like that. But we try to stay with what we know, and we try not to do too many fun or fancy or crazy things with new saws and things like that, because there's no need to. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of different features here and there. Bill Saflarski wants to know, is 11.5 second cycle time decent? It would depend on what you're splitting and what the splitter is. 11.5 second cycle is a box store splitter somewhere in there. Now, if you could push 11.5 seconds through a 4-way or a 6-way, that's more impressive at that point, because now you're getting 6 pieces instead of 2. But again, we all start somewhere. So my little bit every day, somebody else's little bit every day, completely different. Everybody's operation is different. So don't get too hung up on cycle time or bigger, faster chainsaws or bigger delivery vehicles or any of that stuff. Look at your operation and does it suit what you need? If it suits what you need, then it's definitely perfectly fine. And Mike says it's better than his 17-second cycle time on the county line. So there you go. There's always somebody that's going to be a little faster. There's always somebody that's going to be able to have a little bit bigger wedge. There's always somebody that's going to be able to do something a little quicker, but it's just whatever you need and what you're comfortable with. I know working by myself, if I can run the controls of the machine myself and I can reach the wood, about a 6-second cycle time is fast enough. Anything much quicker than that and you're really moving, and it's not a sustainable pace that you're going to keep up all day. It's just going to be something to wear you out a little faster, and when you get tired, you make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you'll get hurt, and when you get hurt around this firewood equipment, it's not good. So the best thing is to find a good, comfortable working pace, and I know for myself, if I was working completely alone, about a 6-second cycle time is pretty good. And BZ brought up a pretty good point. He said for doing firewood and wildland firefighting, he has to go where the dealer service is for any given situation. Technically, whether somebody wants to say so or not, if you buy a steel product, you should be able to get steel dealer support from any steel dealer, regardless of where you are. Lots of dealers don't like to service saws that they don't sell, but that's okay. They're supposed to. And if you push the issue enough, they have to. Yeah, Mike, the 3-second cycle time on the Kinetic is definitely a big upgrade from the county line. So I can understand that for sure. Yeah, Northwest PA, the 6-second cycle time is probably an unloaded or a single stage cycle time. And the single stage cycle time is probably, that's the 6 seconds. Anytime you go into the second stage, you find a knot or something, it's going to slow it down a little bit. Speedy wants to know, you know anyone that runs or collects Homelight Super XL saws? Have 2 in the shop taking up space. If somebody wants them, they're free for the taking. Otherwise, they're getting thrown out. Ha ha. Well, if I was closer, I would take them just because I like old chainsaws. But the Super XLs were great saws for their time. They really were. They were tough old saws. Aaron Burford, good to hear and see you. This feels comfortable with me. Thanks for sharing your time and wisdom. I just try to tell everybody what I've already dealt with and what I know, Aaron. What I do may not be the best. It may not be the right way, but it's my way. And it's worked for a long time for us with our business. So I just, I like being able to share what I know. So Speedy is in Pennsylvania. Speedy is in Pennsylvania. I apologize for not saying that. Ooh, Daniel Atkins, if you're thinking about another chainsaw, I got to tell you, that 462, it's a pretty smart saw. I like it. Ooh, Josh and Janice have chainsaw pants supposed to show up tomorrow. There you go. That's awesome. Frontier Firewood says he'll take the home lights, Speedy. So you can let Frontier Firewood know how he can reach you, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, the Kinetic will be really nice for the slab wood for sure. Oh, Neighborly Homestead's interested too. Well, Kenny, he's got to have one to replace what he got rid of, obviously. I don't like to get rid of them and not have something to replace. Ooh, Daniel's thinking fuel injected. He's spending the big money. I can't get behind the fuel injected saws yet. I don't know if I even like the 562 or the electronic carb yet. It's different. It feels different. It runs different. I know it's supposed to be easier, but yeah. Yes, Iffy Kid's right. So please pay attention to your order on Saw Supplier and look, because some of the saws have wrap handles, some don't. Some have heated handles, some don't. Make sure that you're ordering the saw that you're really looking for and read the description of the ad. I almost ordered a full wrap handle on the 462, and I would not have been happy had I done that. So make sure you read your ads. Make sure you read your ads. Robert Daigle says the Wolfridge is a 10.5-second cycle time with a 4 and a 6-way, but he can keep his fingers that way. Keeping your fingers is the way to go for sure. So Josh and Janice just put up there, sawsuppliers.com. If you use Willey10 at checkout, you will get a 10% off on all Echo Husqvarna and Steel products, and that does apply to the blowers as well. Yeah, Portive 500 is a smart saw. They're a thirsty saw. Thirsty saw, that's for sure. So the 462 that's priced as the 500i Iffy Kid, I think is the C. I think it's the 462C. I did not want the electronic carb. So Dan's House Smoking Outdoors 5 series are faster and lighter than the 3 series. I just don't know if they're going to hold up as well. We will see. It's it's one of the deals. As far as fuel efficiency goes, I don't think that there's a more fuel efficient saw than the Echo 620. That runs the longest on a tank of gas out of any of the saws that we have. Husky, Echo, or the Steel now, the 620 is the best on fuel. Craig, that's an okay deal. I think, I don't know what I paid for mine brand new with the bar, but I want to say it was 9, right around 9. So if it hasn't been used much, yeah, the 590 is basically a 620 with a smaller carb, so that's going to be even more fuel efficient than the 620. The 620 is really, really good on fuel. Yep, 620 will take a 24-inch bar, no problem. There you go, Jim. I get you now. I follow you. Daniel, I believe so, but I'm not much of a steel guy. I'm not much of a steel guy. Yep, 590 is the same thing as a 620. The difference is the 620 has an unlimited coil, a bigger carburetor, and a dual ring piston. Those are the 3 differences between that. Other than that, the saws are basically the same. Northwest PA was gonna say what it was as he was typing it. So there we go. We got it sorted out either way. The 5 Series Huskies do feel smooth. The suspension on them feels very soft and wiggly. I like a saw to be a little bit stiffer. Even the 462, I noticed it's fairly, I don't know, unstable, I guess, as you're using it. I like the feel of the older 3 Series Huskies better, but it's all in what you use. I'm sure as I use them, I'll like them more. I know it only took me 1 tank of gas to really, really start to like that 462. That's equivalent to like the 372 and the 7310. It's not equivalent power-wise. It's way more power. Or at least it feels like it's more power. We'll find out when we time it. 590 might be a little stretch with the limited coil Northwest PA. But I think if you don't crowd it too much, I think it'll be fine. 462 is lighter. Yes, the 462 is lighter for sure. Frontier Firewood, I don't know if they have a West Coast Fallers kit for the 462 or not, but if they did, that would stiffen it up some. Some of your channel names are back, but Mike, yours is still showing up as Mike Carter. So not everybody's channel name is back. You're still on Exile Island for whatever reason. I've not run a 27-inch bar on a 620. I've run a 24-inch, and it'll run a 24-inch, but we'll see. Shipping for saws is not too bad. I use Pirate Ship, so that's what I use to ship all my fire starters and everything else out. And Pirate Ship is pretty reasonable. I'll find out what it is to ship it, because I'll be shipping a saw back to Derek at some point, and we'll see what it is. But Mike Carter says he's got a 24-inch bar on his 590, so apparently it's just fine with a 24-inch bar. And I know I've run it on the 620, so I think it would probably be okay. Brandon Hode said he had a 24-inch bar on it and went through a 27-inch white pine. Pirate Ship, yes, you set up an account and it takes the shipping right from your checking account when you ship. So Connor asked, do you change sprockets to get more speed or gear them down for more torque? It depends on the saw, and it depends on what you're trying to do. Sometimes the best way to pick up more speed on a bigger saw is to go with a smaller chain. So go from 3/8 to 325 and let it eat. Make sure you get a good chain with your rakers down. But it's one of those things where it's different for everybody, and each builder, when they build their saw, runs them a little differently, and it just all depends on a lot of different variables. Ooh, Frontier Firewood said he just looked it up. West Coast Saws has a Feller's kit for the 462. I'll be getting one of those. Weekend Warrior says, Derek's been porting some really nice saws. Derek is a very, very clever man. Derek does an excellent job with his saws, and he has quite a collection. He's been doing the 6-minute saw videos. We've not seen a very tip of his collection yet. He's got lots and lots and lots of saws. So it's just one of those things where he likes his engines. He likes his motorized things, and he does a really good job with it. There you go. Perfect, BZ. Speed for racing, speed for cutting firewood, I'd stay with a 3/8, and I'd do whatever. It all takes it all takes different things. You can change so much. It's crazy how much things can change with little incremental changes. It doesn't have to be a huge change to make a big difference. Chainsaws are one of those things that everybody does them a little different. So it's interesting to see how some of these builders build their saws and just what length they'll go through to pick up that little bit of extra time. Oh, he doesn't have a 462 yet. Well, there you go. Yep, Bill Saflarski. I saw the pirate ship notification for the holiday increase too. They're going to end up getting some extra money for the holiday shipping and do that too. Yeah, Josh and Janice, I'm kind of surprised with that too. We haven't had hardly any bots in here with the vertical screen, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me do horizontal again. So I don't know, not sure. Mike says be quiet. So tomorrow is home inspection day. I'm going to play with some chainsaws, make some shorts, start some more long form video with the saws, and kind of go through the new saws. I had a lot of people ragging on me thinking that I was trying to say that a 462 and a 562 were the same class saw, and I know they're not the same class saw. I 100% swear, poke myself in the eye, know that they are not the same class saw. I got the 562 because Gramp really likes the 620. I got the 562 because it has heated handle grips on it. Gramp complains about his fingers going numb when it's really cold out. So I'm hoping that those heated handles will help that. I was really hoping that it would have a little more power than it does. And I know it's not broke in yet. I've got 4 or 5 tanks of gas through it. But I was looking for more out of it. And I don't know if that's because the 462 is as strong as it is, or, you know, what's going on. But I promise you guys, I will never let you believe that a 60cc saw is the same as a 70cc saw. I'll be honest with you guys. I will. There's nothing to hide here. But I never said that we're going to compare these two head to head and see how they do. I said I got 2 new saws for my birthday and we're going to run them. And somebody's like, there were so many people, oh, well, that's not even a fair comparison. You need to compare apples to apples. And it's like, oh. No, I didn't break it in the way Grant broke the Echo in, Dan. I should have. That would have really irritated some people for sure. But I didn't break it in that way. And I had people ripping me for the way I broke them in as it was, and I was kind of easier on them than Gramp would have been for sure. If I had given them to Gramp, he'd have thrown them in the woodpile and gone to town. But no, I was easier on it. Clarence Dobson, how you doing? Brian, Shotlift Family Firewood, how's it going? Yeah, Prius is the same as a Corvette, says Daniel Atkins. He says we can lie to him. I don't do that. I think all the saws can be woke up. I'm looking for a stock saw and something that runs decent without being terribly loud. Gramp and I both, neither one of us like to listen to a decked imported saw all day. Are they fun? Sure. Am I going to run it all day? Probably not. Probably not. But it's one of those deals that I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I know that's how they want you to reset the carb on it. I stuffed it in a log for quite a while, and I really went at it, and I just, it's one of the deals where you do what you can. Maverick is the same as a Super Duty. See, we're all getting the comparisons now. Oh, and the other thing I get ripped on was for using the Echo Red Armor oil that I have in the Husqvarna and Steel chainsaws. Guys, like, you can't put Echo oil in a Steel chainsaw. That'll void your warranty. It's not going to void your warranty. It's going to give the saw a better oil protection than the crappy Steel oil that nobody wants to run in the saws anymore. It's just one of those things where you do what you got to do. I mean, I'm going to do me. I'm not really worried about it, but I'm going to do me, and we're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to get it done. This week's going to kind of be shot, basically. I've kind of already chalked all that up. Next week will be a new week, and we'll hit it hard and see what we can get done, hopefully. The weather's going to get cold up here. They're calling for some more snow Sunday night, so it's one of those deals where you just go with it. I did wear my favorite boots, though. I don't know if he's on here, but Jim Norton, one of our subscribers, he sent me a pair of Dry Walker boots. Hang on, let me get one. So these have got to be the lightest rubber boot. They're not steel toe. They're rubber. But the lightest rubber boot with a liner, this liner pulls out, that I have ever worn. This thing, I don't even know if it weighs 8 ounces for the boot. It's very, very, very light. and they're comfortable. It's like wearing a pair of calf-high Crocs that hug your feet. They work really, really good. And I had those on while we were working on the septic because it was wet and muddy. And man, really nice boots. Dry walker boots. I believe that's what they're called. Yep. Dry walker. I have no idea what they cost. Have no idea what it is. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not worried about my warranty. I'll take the better oil and I'll know that my saw is protected. So I use AMSOIL or I use Echo Red Armor. The only other oil that I will use is Klotz. I used to use Klotz when I was racing. I really like my Klotz oil and my race fuel, and it's going to be really, really, really cool. My warranty was started and I didn't have any oil come with, or nor did I have to buy any oil with my saw, so I guess I'm not real worried about it. I think Saw Supplier will take care of me if there's an issue. They're a great company to work with. Northwest PA, I used to race snow sleds, ATVs, did for years. I drag raced, I did snowcross, I did ATV cross country racing, ATV drag racing, and ATV motocross. So I did a lot of ATV and snowmobile racing as a teenager and into my early 20s. It was a lot of fun. A lot of good times had at the racetracks, that's for sure. Now, Frontier, you're absolutely right. With that Red Armor, you won't need warranty. I did a few GNCC races down Pennsylvania, and I did one in, I think it was Georgia. Just a few, but most of them were local in New England. Same with the snowmobiles, mostly in New England. But it was a lot of fun. Towards the end of the quads, I was racing the open class. I was running a Yamaha Raptor. When I started, I was running a 250R Honda. Went up to a Banshee in the open class, 450R, and then the Raptor 660. And we went back and forth and did a lot of racing here, there, and everywhere, and it was a good time. I actually have a race fuel packet from a guy up the road. He's going to start selling a different type of race fuel than VP, and I'm going to be picking some of that up for some of the saw projects that we've got coming. When they start showing up, I'll show you guys what we got. Ah, Northwest PA's racing too. There you go. Very awesome. Ooh, Daniel was a speed skater on an oak floor. There you go. I could see you being a speed skater, Daniel. You've got that mentality. I can just tell. You've got that mentality. I like that. Yep. I've had plenty of good wrecks. Plenty of good wrecks. But Klotz was what I ran in all my two-stroke stuff, and I ran Yamalube oils for everything else. I don't care what it was for a machine. It all got Yamalube. Oh, Josh raced in Legend cars. There you go. So I think most of us that play with chainsaws and stuff like that, we've all had something fast, or we all have something fast, and it's a lot of fun. But Connor, I'm 100% with you. I like the two-stroke. I'm a two-stroke guy through and through. Four strokes have pushed the two strokes out, but you can't beat the sound and smell of a two-stroke with race fuel and Klotz. Or it's just, man, oh man, it'll put a smile on your face. You can't help it. And same thing when I run race fuel or aviation gas and Klotz and a chainsaw, just the smell, I'm like, oh boy. Ooh, Speedy got some of my favorite stuff. 42-inch diameter red oak from the tree service. Ooh, that that is not my cup of tea. Scott and Ann, have a good night. Appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, it's definitely a dangerous thing. Brian just said right there, had a buddy pass away. I've had some friends get really, really hurt racing, and it's one of those deals where if you do it, you need to know that you've got the consequence as a possibility. It's nothing that you want to think about, but we all know that. Yeah, we all know it can happen, and unfortunately, it does happen because I've seen it myself. If you're around racing long enough, you'll see a bad wreck, or you'll see somebody get hurt bad, and it's not fun. That's for sure. Bill had a car that would go by anything but a gas station. I had a pickup like that, go by anything but a gas station. Ford Ranger with a V8 conversion. Yeah, Brian, that's just it. I mean, if guys are out there racing, they're out there racing because they want to do it. Nobody's forcing them to do it, but it's still, it doesn't make it any easier. So. Northwest PA says the craziest race is one he did in the CRA triathlon in Ohio, motocross and woods race, and then the final race is flat track, 2-day event. That sounds like a lot. I don't know if I would be able to do that. Brandon Hote says, keep talking. Got to clean the wood stove out. I got to clean my wood stove out in the morning. That's on my list of things to do. I got to clean my chimney tomorrow too, my annual chimney cleaning. It's that time of year. Have a good night, BZ. Appreciate you, buddy. Haha. Northwest PA Firewood got the big trophy in the Vet B class. There you go. Connor says he broke his back in 2019, and when he was laying on the table, the surgeon asked him if he would do it again, and probably yes. Yeah, it happens. Once you get, if anybody's like me, I'm very competitive. I hate to lose, and once you go out there and you get a taste of winning, you'll do whatever you got to do to get there again, and that's why I stopped racing as I got older. I knew that it wasn't going to end good eventually, so I keep my playing to a minimum and try to stay in one piece for the wife and kids. I'll still take a sled out on the ice and take a rip up the lake or something like that, but I keep my playing where it's as safe as possible. 18 years ago, Daniel had an 88 Mazda pickup converted to a supercharged rotary engine. Ooh, that would be fun. Frontier Firewood says his screen only shows 4 thumbs up. Mine only shows 29, which is a lot less than the 56 that are in here. So if you close out of the live chat and you hit the like button, you can come back to the live chat after. Well, there's a few more, so somebody must have read it. Brandon said, and it's still raining. It's not raining here yet, but it's coming. And then we have snow coming on top of the rain. So, yeah, not going to be good. Have a good night, Dick. Appreciate you stopping by. Roger says he worked as a gas man in the Bush series at Dover, Delaware. Only thing that compares with driving is standing on pit road with 42 of you crazy bastards coming in hot. Yeah, pit road is not a safe place to be when everybody wants first. Weekend Warrior said he was a slacker. Some people don't race. I got a buddy that, he'll build motors for guys' cars all day long. He's never raced a day in his life, but he builds motors. He'll build motors for pull trucks and stuff like that, but he doesn't race. He doesn't race them. So he lives just down the road from me. That 110 fuel, it'll burn so fast, Roger, you won't even know it was there. Don't worry about it. So I've done some market research in my area on firewood. Not to change topics, but this is we talk about firewood here too. I've looked at the different sizes of firewood that other companies and manufacturers of wood in my area are selling, and I've got to tell you, the array of sizes is absolutely crazy. We go from small split like my restaurant would to stuff that I don't even know if I could get through the door of my stove. And they're saying that that's their normal firewood. That's what they sell. People love it. And I'm wondering if people really love it or if that's just what they're telling themselves. But some of these guys have been in business for a long, long time. So I have to believe that the customers either are taking it and resplitting it themselves or they actually do like it that size. But I've not delivered wood that big to anybody unless they had a boiler. And if I did, it was complaints. So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what the deal is. What are you guys seeing in your area as far as firewood size? Are people wanting the smaller splits? Are you still doing the great big, what we call stove wood? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the answer anymore. I've got so many mixed results in my area that I'm just going to keep doing what we're doing. Speedy says I need to get a bigger stove. My stove will heat my whole house just fine. But if that piece of wood won't fit through the door of my stove, I already know that my energy efficient stove is not going to burn that wood. It won't burn the big splits. So I don't know. I want to give people what they want. And the more I educate people about smaller splits, the better we have as far as what they're getting out of their stoves. And Sherry says they have some of both. Some want smaller and others want larger. The only larger customers I have left anymore, Sherry, are the ones that are using outdoor boilers or what some people call water stoves down south. And Craig says seeing a lot more ads with the new age firewood, smaller splits, but certainly still a lot of sellers selling like it's 1995, which 1995 was a great year. Neighborly Homestead says, I agree, Russ. The newer stoves like smaller wood. I did just do a delivery on Saturday of furnace wood, big old farmhouse with a very inefficient wood furnace. Yep, so those big wood furnaces, the big plate steel stoves, the Fisher stoves, the Dover stoves, stuff like that, they'll take a big chunk. But I don't know. I don't know. Brandon said he splits a good mix for him and Mom. Dan's House of Smoking Outdoors says he does a palm-sized split, which palm-sized split's fairly common. The newer stoves like smaller splits for sure. They want the surface area to be larger in the stove. It helps for cleaner burning and higher burn temps in the firebox. Bigger stoves you don't get the heat, so they don't burn as efficiently. So the small stoves, definitely the new energy efficient stoves like the small splits for sure. Roger Austin delivered half a cord to somebody that worked with Gramp at the mill. He loved the smaller splits. Gramp likes the big splits. I try to do smaller splits. I try to ask the people what they want, and that's the biggest thing, is asking them what they want. But I think as time goes, I think in the next probably 5 to 10 years, we will have just small splits unless somebody has an outdoor boiler. And even then, with the newer high efficiency boilers, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot. Speedy says he splits medium to small, but his Blaze King has a big door opening. My Heritage Soapstone stove does not have a big door opening. Connor says he splits bigger for his parents as they're getting older, but they burn turf and coal as well. Digger, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I've had some people asking when they were going to see Gramp and Kevin again. We'll have some videos of Gramp and Kevin in a few days. This week has been absolutely terrible as far as trying to get anything done. But it's one of those deals. One of those deals. Craig, you might be the youngest one in the chat. You might be. It's a good possibility. Josh and Janice say their customers like smaller splits too. So turf, Ken, is peat. So they mine cubes of peat and they call it turf, and they throw it and dry it. And once it's dry, it burns in the stoves. Tony has a Hearthstone Heritage and it likes small splits. Ours likes the smaller split stuff too, for sure. 100%. I'm with you. Mike, sounds good, buddy. Appreciate that. I just, I've had the argument with so many people about small splits, large splits. The small splits, I think, are kind of more of where it's going. So, Davies Logging, how's the 462? I got to tell you, buddy, I wished I'd bought one a while ago. I'm really liking the 462. And won't be too long, and we will be sending it out to Aaron Lynch at Lynch Sawworks, and he's gonna massage it a little bit. So we're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, Roger Austin said even his new boiler burns the smaller splits better. I got a 562. I don't know how long it's gonna last, Davey. I really had better hopes for it. I've got 4 or 5 tanks of fuel through it, but I was really hoping for something better. I don't know if you've tried the Echo 620s yet, but I don't think this is going to keep up with the 620. We'll find out. We're going to put it in the wood, and we'll see what we can get. All fighting over age now. I think I feel older than I look, if that means anything. Davey, Mike said if you send him one of those 562s, he'll rebuild it. As long as it's rebuildable, I guess. But I really like the 462 so far. I've actually got it sitting on the floor beside me. I really I like it. I like it. I think the 620 is better than the 562. I'm going to run them side by side, and I'm going to give Gramp each of the saws and see what he thinks. Sometimes I think Gramp's a little biased because he likes the Husqvarna, but I don't think there's enough saw there. I don't think there's enough saw there to warrant changing, especially not for $300 and some more. Roger's got an old 288 XP he'd like to rebuild. That'd be a smart saw, Roger. Rebuild it and then deck and port it. You can have yourself a hot saw. Cut that firewood twice as fast. Yeah, Jim's a kind of a lot like a younger version of Gramp. They both get around really good for their age, and they put a lot of us younger guys to shame. They can put some wood down in a hurry. I know that when Jim and Chris's brother Kenny are working together, I know Logger Jason says that they're really, really, really productive. And I believe it because I've worked in the woods with Gramp for a few years now, and I'll tell you, he'll wear you out. But I do like the heated handles on the 562. I will give it that. The heated handles will be nice for the wintertime. How old is Brandon Hode? Brandon Hode, I believe, is in his 50s of some sort or age. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong. But everybody's trying to figure out how old everybody is. I'm not going back through and reading to find out. You'll just have to let me know when your birthday is, and we'll just say close enough. Combined, Jim and Kenny are 128, and Kenny is the young one. So there you go. Speed limit coming up for Brandon pretty soon. He's going to be 55 probably. Amadal is 43. There you go. I'm 41. I've been 41 since November 2nd. So for a little bit now. Ooh, Mike's going to be 50 in June. Yeehaw. Kevin's going to be 50 in February. He's always been older than me. He'll always be older than me, too. Amadal, thank you. I don't intend on entering any beauty contests, though. Neighborly Homestead's 43 and a half as of today. Well, there you go. Well, hello from Maine. How are you in Australia? Roger's going to be 58 in March, so there isn't any of us that are none too young. I think if Tom from Tom's Firewood is here, he's probably the youngest one. The rest of us, I think we're all getting a little longer in the tooth. Oh, boy. Oh, Mike is 21 with 28 years experience. And Bill Saflarski says we're all spring chickens. Oh, my grandfather would tell you, Gramp would tell you that age is just a number. That you're only as old as you feel. Yeah, Tucker's 19. I didn't see Tucker in here tonight, but yeah, Tucker is 19. He's got us all beat. He's the young one. We can live vicariously through him. Liam says he's 26 and his back is 87. Well, there you go. So if I was doing all that red oak, 42-inch red oak that Speedy had this tree service dropped off, my back would be 87 too. That big tree service stuff is no fun. No fun at all. Brianna Gorman is 887. I think what she meant to say was 87. Amidala getting older and wise. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting wise or not, but I'm getting older. Sometimes I do things and I say, man, you knew better than that, but you did it anyway. And sometimes it hurts and sometimes it doesn't, but it's just one of those deals where we kind of pick and choose our battles a little bit, I guess. To know what I know now and go back, I would definitely do things different in certain circumstances, that's for sure, but I wouldn't trade where I am at this point. It's been a lot of work and it's been a lot of time to get to where we are, but it's pretty good. Hey, there's Ted right there. Ted just got done pulling the back straps out of that 6-pointer, and he's in the house. Good to see you, Mr. Miller, and congratulations on that deer, sir. So it's deer season in most places. The deer are moving up here. So one of the guys that works on our chainsaws, his son shot a 22-point, 246-pound deer today. Massive deer. Massive. Yep. Abmidal, that's exactly it. Whatever happened, let it go. Most important is learn from your mistakes. That's it. Ken says, when people tell me to act my age, how am I supposed to do that? I've never been this age before. Makes perfect sense, I suppose. Today is the oldest you've been and the youngest you'll ever be again. Man, we're a whole bunch of philosophers tonight. There you go. Yeah, Brandon Hode, that big old deer is probably some tough. I think you're absolutely right. 246 pounds of burger or sausage on that one for sure. Yeah, that old deer is probably going to be a little on the chewy side. Nice looking rack, though. I would love to have it on my wall. Yep, clock is always ticking. Tomorrow is not promised. That's the whole thing. So if there's something you say, "Oh, wait, I can do that later on," do what you got to do. Have fun with it. That's all there is to it. This whole firewood business thing, this whole equipment stuff, all the deals that we've got going on, I figured why not? I could sit back and say, "Oh, I'm content. I'm happy. I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to do this and we'll just yeah, it'll be all right." Instead, I say, "You know what? Let's do it. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we don't do it anymore. If it works and we want to do something different, we'll do something different. But we're going to try it because you got to do it." So, Ted, I'm jealous that you got to go hunt and got a deer, buddy. I have not had a chance to go hunting yet, and I probably won't this rifle season up here either. So, I'll have to live vicariously through everybody else that's out there enjoying that time in the outdoors. But we are in the process of moving and selling and a bunch of other stuff too. So it's, yeah. Ah, there you go. Sherry's got it figured out. Mix it with ground beef and you'll never know it was there. Oh, sorry to hear that, Roger. Just buried his son in law's grandfather yesterday. Would have been 90 years old today. That's a good long time to be around, that's for sure. That is for sure. All right, guys. Well, we're in overtime. I'm probably going to call it here because I'm beat. I've had a week. I'm a little defeated and I'm a little discouraged, but we won't stop and we'll get it done and we'll do what we need to do. But remember, guys, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can. We'll see you guys Sunday night. Hopefully, I get at least a chance to do a cord of firewood or two this week, and we'll go from there. But appreciate you all stopping by as always, and have a great night.